Alright, this video is going to cover the basics of managing your WordPress website. First thing you want to do is log in to the back end. You can do that by going to your domain name, .com, whatever that may be, /wp-admin. You can see that kind of right here with our URL. Ours is demo2.idxgrid.com/wp-admin. Once you do that, you'll need to log in with your username and password. You can send us an email if you don't have that, and we will get that for you. Okay, once you log in, you will see this page that you see right now, which is your dashboard. From here, you can kind of launch off into a couple of different sections. We're just going to cover the basics. Okay, so if you want to make some changes to a page, you want to change the content, all of that is going to pretty much be under the Pages section. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and then you'll see a list of all of your pages in the site. This list might actually have more than your site has, or may not be in the same exact order, but this is all of your content. So let's say I want to go in and change the overview, the About overview page. I can come in here, pull up this John Smith real estate page, and then I can start editing. Most of the themes here will have a some type of an editor. In this case, you've got these blocks of content here. Within each block, you can change the settings. So there's a little pencil icon to click on. So let's say I want to change the heading, why choose our team. I would click on the pencil icon. Then up here in the heading text, I would write in my new heading. Then I click Save Changes. Then click Update. Okay. If you want to change something else in the page, you just scroll to it and click the pencil to edit that, and then you can make those changes. Okay. If your site doesn't look exactly like this, there will be something similar where you can edit the content on the page. Some pages, for example, will be much more simple, so I'll go to a more simplified page so we can take a look at that. Let's see, under relocation here, under resources, this will be a more straightforward page. See, there's really just this one big block of text here. I can go in there, I can edit that, and that'll pull up the content here. This is my editor, so I can click into here and I can make any changes I want. If I want to highlight this and delete it, I could do that, or I could format it, bold it, things like that. So you can make some formatting changes. When you're done, just make sure you click Save Changes and then update the page. Right there. Okay, so that's pretty much it for pages. If you want to add a new page, that's a little bit more complicated. We're not going to cover that now. What we're going to do is we're going to just quickly get into the blog. If you have a blog page, it's pretty much the same thing. You can do the editing under posts. So you have posts is different than pages. So we click on posts, and you can see we've got some sample blog articles here. I'm just going to pull one up real quickly. And from here, you can see it's a little bit different. It doesn't have the same editor that the other pages do. It just has one big block for content. So it's same concept. You can go in here and you can make changes and update the page. So you don't have to click the little pencil icon to make any changes, because there's just one big block. Okay, so it looks a little bit different, and you can just edit this directly right here. Okay, so let's say we want to add a picture. You can do that pretty easily. I can come and say I want to put one right here in front of this paragraph down here. I can click in front of it and then click Add Media, and then I can upload something from my computer if I have a file. So you can click Select Files and then browse somewhere on your computer. and then upload a file, or you can choose something from the media library, something that may already be uploaded. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just a couple of things here. Once you click on the image here, generally link to needs to be set to none, because most of the time you don't need people to click on the image to see it bigger. You can, if you'd like, you can leave that alone, but link to I set to none most of the time. Alignment I'm going to set to left in this case so that it shows up on the left side of the text, and then I click insert into post. So there's my picture that shows up in my content. If I wanted to save that, I just go over here and click update. I'm not going to do that here because I don't like that change. So what I'm going to do is just kind of back out of that. Now if you'd like to add a new page, it's pretty straightforward. Same concept. You just need to write a title. So let's say you were going to add some type of article about the market or something like that. You could say Alpharetta real estate trends, or whatever you may do. That's your headline, and then down here is the description. So you have to write that out, or you could copy and paste it. If you had a Word document, you could copy and paste it into this area. Over here on the right side, you have different categories that you can assign this to. So, if you have a theme for this particular article, you may want to add a category if you're going to be adding similar types of articles, so that way visitors can easily get to the other similar articles. You don't have to choose a category, but it's recommended. You can choose multiple ones if you'd like, and then you just click the publish button. If you don't want to have it go live yet, you can save it as a draft, and then you can publish it later. Okay. If you'd like to have an image show up on the listing when you're looking at all of the blog posts, then you can do that by using the featured image feature right here. It says featured image. It's on the right side. I click set featured image, and then I can click any of these pictures in my media library, or I can upload a new file. I'm just going to go ahead and click one and click set featured image. So what that'll do is that'll just give us a nice image to look at before we get into this full article. So that's pretty much it for the post. There's more that you can do here, but we're just trying to cover the basics here. So then we'll go ahead and publish that if we're satisfied with those changes. Okay, now we're going to go to the contact pages. If you want to update your contact information, there's a couple of places that you'll need to do that. So if you want to change where emails go, or if you want to change your address or phone number, I'm going to cover that right now. The first thing that I'm going to do is go to the contact forms right here under contact, and there are typically two standard forms. Only one is used on most sites, and it's called contact form 1. I can open this up and I can easily change where this goes by clicking on the mail tab right here. Okay, and you can see the 2 right there has got my email. So you can put in a different email if you want your contact forms to go somewhere else. That's where you would do that. Okay, so again, that's contact forms, and we click on contact form 1, and we click on mail, and then we can change that. Okay, that's for emails going through forms. If we want to make changes to the contact page itself, we will need to go to pages, then we'll need to find the contact page, contact us right there, click on that. A couple of different places here. The first is the Google map. It's going to show up at the top of the page. I'm going to go ahead and just show you that real quick so we can see that. Okay, so here's the map. That is set by a geolocation. In order to change that, we can see the Google Map location. I'll click on the pencil icon, and there's a latitude and longitude. Okay, so you have to know the latitude and longitude. If you don't know it, you can go on to Google Maps and type in the address, and then you can get the latitude and longitude from Google Maps. You can find it there. Okay, so that's for the map. You want to go in here and change any of your contact information, such as your address. Okay, you can do that here. We have our address here. We can change that. The driving directions link, if we wanted to update that, you'd need to get a new driving directions link if you change the address. The telephone numbers, okay, just again, we can update that if we'd like. So this is all on the contact page. This is just really for informational purposes, just what's displayed on the page. And in the contact form here, we already just covered that. So the form at the bottom of the page here, that submits to you. And so we already covered changing that. Okay. Okay. So that covers that contact page there. Next is really just your internal information. So your user information. That can be found under users. On the left side, this is really your login and your email address. So if there's any kind of contact that comes, that's more related to technical stuff for your WordPress website, this is where it would go. So here's my username. I can go in here and I can edit this. My username is demo1 in this case. Yours would be different. So you can come in here and you can change the email here. You can put in your name if you'd like, some other information, and passwords. If you like to change your password, then you can do that here as well. Okay, so that's your login, and that covers that. And I think that's pretty much it for contact information. Okay, the last thing we want to cover here is some of the stuff that shows up at the bottom of the site. Typically, might be your picture. I'll show you here, and some contact information at the bottom of the site. Okay, so this is another little widget that we have. And to change that, that's going to be under Optima Express Bio Widget. We click on that. Now we have the opportunity to change our picture and some other contact information here. So you can go ahead and make the changes for that, and then click Save Changes. So that's the basics of the WordPress backend.